Hi everybody, today we're going to be messing around with a little bit more HTML, but before we get there, let's have a quick look at yesterday's football results. As you can see, Wigan have eased through to the cup final, which is absolutely fantastic, but at that game there was violence, crowd trouble, as you can see, not good. Ipswich lost to Hull, shock result there from the Championship in England, and of course Ferguson denies Mancini fear claim. That's absolutely obvious, why wouldn't he? Anyway, what a nice web page, by the way. Look at all these, the navigation bar up here. We've got another navigation bar here. The web page is kind of split across. It's kind of got this horizontal feel, not just kind of up and down. Very nice. Hopefully by the end of this HTML course we will also be creating web pages like this. Okay, I've set up a new project folder and I've already saved a blank HTML document in Notepad++, and I've just been messing around with an image, print.png. In fact, here it is. What a tiny little thing. Is that the real size? Or is that the real size? What does this really look like? Let's go to view actual size. Okay, so it's quite small. Alright, let's get started. So I'm just going to stop talking for a couple of minutes while I set up my HTML document with a whole bunch of tags, including of course the head, and within the head we're going to have a title. I can change this later. I'm just going to call it my page / title. Did I stop talking yet? Within the head as well we're also going to set up a style. To remember that the style has a type which is equal to something known as text / CSS. That's my style setup. I've got my head, and under the head I'm gonna have my body. Okay. And let's just stick something in the body so that we can see if everything works as expected. Welcome, welcome, one and all. So we'll make that an H1 style. And that's within the body of the web page. Okay, so let's just save and launch in Chrome. Welcome one and all. Terrific. It's not very exciting, is it? What I probably am going to do within the style section of my HTML file is just design my H1 style. Text align, center, and font size, I don't know, 36, and color, let's just do a random DE07AF. I wonder what color that's going to be. And font family, Tahoma. Oh yes, I love it so much. Font family Tahoma. So let's have a look and see what that color is going to be. Ooh, very fancy. Nice one, Mr. John. Okay, so we know that things are working well. Just refresh that. Okay. Now then, what we're going to do today is mess around with background images. We'll do a quick review of that. So what I want to do is also style the body of my web page, and I'm just going to say background image. What did I call it? I can't remember. Print.png. Why did I call it that? Print.png. Now I'm assuming you know the difference between a PNG and a JPEG. Don't tell me you don't. And let's have a look. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. I don't like that repeat across the whole page though. So what I'm going to do is set up a background repeat. And I'm going to say, listen, please only repeat on the x-axis. Background repeat, colon, and just repeat on the x-axis. And let's have a look at that. Why do I keep doing that? Why don't we just refresh? Okay, so now it's just repeating on the x-axis. And of course, we could do a repeat y So Y repeat on the Y-axis. In fact, let's forget about background repeat and actually style the size, or specify the size, background size. I want it to be 100% of the width of my web page and 100% of the height of my web page. So we'll save that and we'll refresh. And now we just have that one image which covers the entire web page. So can we zoom in and out? Yep, and it's always just, the background image doesn't seem to change. It's always 100% wide and 100% tall. Okay. Now then, the other day we were looking at the div tag. And what I want to do with my div tag is mess around maybe with an image, and I want it to be, in fact let's go and make another image. Get out of there. What are we going to do? Something amusing or something not amusing? Oh, my program's about to crash. Ooh. Got no idea what I'm doing. Okie dokie. Okay, let's save that. I'll call it print2. As a PNG file. Why am I saving those PNG files? I'm not sure. So in my div tag, I'm going to say, okay, the background image of my div tag is print2.png. And let's surround my text with that div tag. Div/div. Okay, so I'm just putting this text, welcome one and all, within my div tag. Let's see what that does to my web page. Okay, so as you can see, this text is now sitting inside a div tag, and it's looking a bit weird. So what I can do is tell the computer how wide and how tall I want that div tag to be. So let's say I want it to be 400 pixels wide and 200 pixels high. So this is my div tag. I'm giving it a background image, and I'm now specifying how big I want that div. Or it's kind of like a box that I can put things in. And at the moment, I'm putting some text inside it. Okay. So let's have a look at that. Oh, and now it's no longer center aligned. So that's a little bit disappointing. And I don't really want the text to be at the top of the div tag. I want the text to be kind of in the middle of it. So that's something that I'm going to have to mess around with. Now I picked up a little trick from one of my students. Around the div tag, let's use the center tag. So that's looking a little bit confusing. But here we have a center tag, here we have a div tag, here we have a center tag, here we have a div tag, and here we have some text. So I'm just going to use that center tag and see if that will center align this. Yes, yes it does. When I zoom in and out, that's now what it's looking like. Apologies for the terrible images. I really can't be bothered making anything different. Do you notice, because I'm using PNG by the way, that we can see behind this image, we can kind of see through the gaps. Okay, so that's what a PNG image will do for you. It doesn't show you any white where you haven't drawn anything. Now how can I get this welcome one and all down here? Well, what I can do within my div definition in the style section is create some padding, maybe 50 pixels, and see how that affects the content of the div. Ooh, it seems to make the div bigger as well, doesn't it? In fact, it seemed to. Let's just mess around with that. Let's make it a bit more obvious what's going on. Let's make that bigger. Whoa. Okay. So it seems to be giving us padding on the top and the bottom. I don't really want that. I just want it from the top. So let's see if we can mess with that. Padding top. Ooh, that's better. Ooh, I like it. So it's given me some padding, which basically is the space from the top of the div down. That's padding top. Okay, you've also got padding left, padding right, etc, etc, etc. So there's something to play with. Now really, what I want to do is create another div tag, because I want to have another area of text or image down here, or in a different place on the web page. So I need to be able to create another div tag. Now the way to do this in HTML is to start giving your div tags individual names in the style section. So I'm going to call this div1, and because I'm giving them different names, unfortunately I have to remember to include a hash. So this is hash div1. And now what I have to do is say, listen, this div here in the body section is div1. Please follow this style for this tag. So I have to say, listen div, your ID is equal to something, which is div1. You are div1. So when I save and run this, hopefully nothing will change. Brilliant. Now then, let's make another one. Just going to be lazy and copy and paste that and a div2. Let's make the width 800 and the height 300, just so it's different, so we can see what's going on. Yeah, okay, I am going to use the same background, you know. Let's see what happens anyway. So in the body of my web page, let's stick in some more content. I'm going to be lazy again. I'm just going to copy this, and so I'm going to center a div tag, and this isn't going to be div1, this is going to be my div2 tag. So div ID equals div2, and let's just change the message. Hope you have a blast here, and let's see what that does. So my body has a div tag which is styled as div1 with a bit of content, and another div tag styled as div2 with a bit of content. At the moment it's just a bit of text, h1 style. Whoa, whoa, whoa! There we go. We now have another div. I prefer to call it box, but HTML guys have decided to call it div. So here we've got one box, and here we've got another box. Okay? Let's just mess around with this center thing for div. For this div tag, I'm just going to take away this center. Let's save it and just run it. Have we got time? Yes. Okay, so now this is the start of us being able to format different content areas within our web page. Okay, so this is really what we're going to be looking at over the next few tutorials. So have a play, have a go, and I'll see you again.